Yeah, I did. I failed. I didn't write 50,000 words, not even close. I feel like for suspense reasons, I shouldn't tell you the exact number just yet, but I might have put it on the thumbnail already, so I'll just tell you. 5,380, which is roughly 10% of the goal, or an F, on most, if not all, grading scales. But I'm sure that something positive came out of this experience, and that's what we're here to talk about today. Okay, so the plan feels pretty obvious. Write 50,000 words in 1 month. NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, is as good as dead, so this year I decided to try Readsy's 50k Sprint Challenge instead. I'd already been using their drafting software for a few months now, so it felt easy enough to join from there. And no, I had never completed one of these challenges before. I've never written 50,000 words in 1 month. But this time was going to be different. I'm a better writer now, a more confident one. And I'll film this video to hold me accountable so I don't just bail on committing to this. Easy. Or was it? We're already on day 5 though, and I'm only at 2,756 words, so I have quite a bit of catching up to do. It is currently 11:19 a.m. I'll check back in about an hour and see how far I've gotten. Hopefully I'm at least to 3,000, hopefully a little bit farther than that. Also known as the excuses, but I'm working on being kinder to myself, so we'll stick with the obstacles for now. Though I've been told numerous times that it's not a good idea to try and start multiple new habits all at once, I, again, thought this time would be different. But not only was I about to try writing 2,000 words every day, I was also going to pick up a drawing challenge that I had failed a couple months ago, post 1 video and 2 shorts a week on YouTube, a pace I've never been able to keep before, and continue running our small art business, which includes posting regularly on socials, keeping up with our Patreon, applying for and going to events, and, most importantly, making art. Oh, and I was finally going to keep up with my PT workouts and never, not once, get a chronic pain flare-up, because that's definitely something I can control. Easy, but it wasn't. And I didn't want to complain because a lot of these things are fun, and it's cool that I get to do this as a job, even if it's a job that doesn't pay very well most of the time. The writing alone was something I'd never been able to pull off before, so adding all that in, plus just regular life tasks, left me with almost no time or energy, which was not great for my physical or mental health. It made me feel like I was constantly falling behind. Probably because I was. Alright, it's 12:38 and I did not lock in. I didn't even make it to 3,000 words. So, that's a bummer, but I'm gonna eat lunch and then we'll try again. 2 weeks in, I sort of crashed. I wasn't exactly hitting the word count goals before this, but I was at least writing a little bit every day and holding on to some semblance of hope that I could catch up and finish this. Good morning. It's currently 9:05 on day 6 of this Readsy 50k writing sprint. I was gonna start right at 9, so now, because my brain is annoying, I wanna wait till 9:15, but that's ridiculous, so I'm just gonna start as soon as I'm done filming this clip. I'm currently at 3,105 words. Yesterday was not a great writing day. I got 353 words done. So to stay on track, I'm gonna need to write not that much more, still around 1,800 words a day, closer to 19. But I'd like to get to at least 5,000 today. More would be cool, but the most I've written a day in this challenge is a little over 1,000, so aiming for 2,000 is pretty, I feel like that's crazy enough, so let's just start there. Hey, okay, so I think the last time I checked in was day 6. It's day 12 now. I think my goal that day was to get to 5,000 words, which would have been like a 2,000 word count for the day. I got 210, so not even close. And I know what you're thinking. Surely you're to 5,000 by now. That was a week ago. I'm not. The next day, day 7, I wrote 39 words. Day 8, 225. Day 9, 142. Day 10, 166. Yesterday I got 153. And so far today, I'm at 153. So I'm nothing if not consistent. So that puts me at exactly 4,300 words right now, which is fine. And I'm really proud of myself for writing every day. I'm probably making more progress on this draft than I would have if I wasn't doing this challenge. So that's something. But I would like to get to 5,000 today. I would like to complete this challenge. It feels impossible. I'd have to write almost 2,500 words every day, which I haven't even done one of these days. So we'll see. It's just tough because I know this doesn't have to be perfect. That's sort of not the point of doing challenges like this. It's just to get stuff on the page. But this is my 3rd draft of this project. So I would like it to be kind of nice and not just chaos on the page. There's also a chance to win $5,000, and I think a couple thousand less than that for second and third place if you submit like your first chapter at the end of this challenge, which I don't think I'd even qualify for because they want you doing completely original works, and this is, like I said, a draft 3 of a project I've been working on for a long time. But even if you don't submit for the cash prize at the end, you still get 3 free months of their like pro version of the Readsy software. So I would like to have that. It's fun having extra tools while you're writing. And more importantly, I'd like to just prove to myself that I can do it, that I can push myself and finish things. Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping that doing this video would give me some more accountability, and maybe it is. I don't know if I would have the drive to keep doing this if I wasn't planning on posting this at some point. And we'll see how it goes. But then on November 14th, I just wrote nothing. All right, so I'm starting to think that 5,000 just isn't a real number. I don't think it exists. It's day 15. I'm at 4,695 words. The day I last checked in, which was, I think, day 12, I ended up doing all right. I think I got a little over 500 words. The next day, I think under 100. And then yesterday, I wrote 0. I have some decent excuses, but I'm pretty bummed about it, if I'm being honest. Like I said, it's day 15, so we're halfway through the challenge, and I should be at least close to 25,000 words. Again, haven't hit 5,000 yet. So it just feels really demoralizing, and it feels kind of pointless to even keep going. I kind of want to just bail entirely, especially since I broke my streak now of writing every day. It kind of just feels pointless. Feels like this challenge isn't really doing anything for me, or I'm not doing enough for the challenge, but it feels a little counterintuitive to quit because I'm not doing enough. If I quit, I'm gonna do even less. So I'm gonna keep going because what's the alternative? Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to stay positive. I don't feel very positive right now, but there are still 2 weeks left, so maybe that'll change. I don't remember exactly why, because I didn't write anything down in my brain dump document, which means I didn't even sit down to attempt that day. I do that sometimes. I feel so behind because I just spent the past few weeks recovering from burnout, so I set unachievable goals to try and get back on track, which, shocker, only leads me to burning out once again and feeling behind. And the highs and lows of that are exhausting, so I'd much rather just do less but do it consistently, which will lead to actually more getting done because I'm not burnt out and hating myself all the time, but there's a part of me that won't accept that. Over the next week or so, I ended up writing a little bit more, but there were a good 7 or 8 days in there that were just at 0, even a couple that were in the negatives. But I wasn't just doing nothing. Sure, there were a couple days in there where I was so exhausted and depressed that I just laid on our couch watching Heartstopper and crying all day, but there were good moments too. And I did a few things that I'm proud of. 1, the drawing challenge. This started all the way back in July. I took the advice of Struthless to draw something, the same thing, every single day. I decided to take 60 days to fill up a 60-page sketchbook with swords. Not the same sword, necessarily, but swords nonetheless. I failed and didn't end up finishing until early October, which is 87 days. I learned a lot from that though, and kind of enjoyed the process of pushing myself creatively. So I decided to do it again with the other 60 pages, just the backsides of the first 60. But this time I was going to do it in a month. Obviously, I did not do this. We're well into December now, and I'm not even close to done. But I like where I'm headed, and I've had a lot of fun so far when I remember to do it. 2, YouTube. In November, I wanted to post 1 video and 2 shorts a week. I wanted to give YouTube a real shot and keep the little momentum that I had going and maybe even get it going faster. I also did not do this, but I did post 2 videos and 5 shorts, which is more than I've ever posted in a month since I started this channel. And although none of them got crazy numbers or anything, I made a lot of cool connections and made some things that I'm proud of. Going forward, I still want to prioritize YouTube, but not more than my health or writing or art. So I'm going to finish off the year the best I can and give myself a little bit of a lighter schedule going into the new year. 3, art business. We only had 1 event in November, which was honestly a relief after having a few months of having something every single weekend. I love doing events and connecting with other artists and selling our art in person, but it's really exhausting and doesn't give us a lot of time to make new things. So in November, we did just that. We made new things. We even took time to stop at one of the places we consign at. If you're in or near Minnesota, I highly recommend checking out Cream and Amber. They've got a bunch of local art, books, coffee, food. It's a blast. You can hang out there all day if you want to. Plus, I just really appreciate them for selling our art. 4. Mental and physical health. It was November in Minnesota. I don't know what I was expecting. Of course, I had a flare up, and of course, I was depressed. Am depressed. We're working on it. So I did not stay on top of my PT, but I did more than usual, and that was nice, and it helped sometimes. And I didn't get sick. Well, I got a little sick. Not full sick, though, which I'm grateful for. 5. Other life things. I spent too much time on my phone. Even if I set myself the easiest and most achievable goals, I would still lose so much time to this stupid little internet brick that's in my hand all the time. I don't even keep a lot of social media on my phone anymore. I'm not even on a lot of social media anymore. I don't think I've had a TikTok in years at this point. But I'll always find something to check again and again and again, just in case the dopamine is going to be satisfying this time. Which is just ridiculous because it's not like I'm avoiding homework or even work that someone else is making me do. I'm doing things that I chose to do. Me. I picked them. And a lot of them are fun, and I'm lucky to get to do what I do, even if it doesn't make me a lot of money right now. And sure, there are hard parts, but it's a creative job. Even the freelance audio work I do, it's not entirely creative, but at least I'm in control for the most part. And yet, in the moment, most of the time my brain prefers the quick and hollow dopamine hit of checking my email for the 45th time instead of pushing through the little bit of discomfort that I have when I'm like sitting and working on something that I actually care about. And I'd like to say I'm working on this because I am, but I don't have any good advice for you right now. I'm not in a super good place with it. So I'm open to any advice you have, and I'm just gonna do my best. Oh, and we also made a couple of good pies in November. That was nice. Well, yeah, I guess this is pretty anticlimactic, given that I did already tell you the exact number at the beginning of the video, which was 5,380, in case you forgot. And what more is there to say after that? I guess I want to wrap this up into some sort of lesson, if not for you, just for myself. So set realistic goals. Start small. Gain confidence through achieving those small goals and staying consistent on them, and then scale up from there if you want to. Enjoy the process because success can happen along the way and it can look a lot different for a lot of different people. But more than that, just keep going. Action over overthinking. Honestly, the only thing I regret is being on my phone too much, and I guess I wish I was a little nicer to myself sometimes. Because yeah, I failed, but I also got a lot done. I failed, but I was failing forward. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful or at least a little bit entertaining. If yes to either, please consider subscribing or leaving a nice or neutral comment, I guess. I'd appreciate that. If you want to check out our art or see what else we're up to, you can follow us at Hunter Moon Press on Instagram, Tumblr. We have a Patreon now where we have a zine club. The December zine is this one, and if you join by, I think, December 20th, you can get a physical copy of this one. There are still 8 spots left in our Primordial Zine Club, which is a slightly cheaper version of our standard Zine Club tier, just for being an early supporter. So check that out if you're interested. We also have an online shop full of other zines, prints, and we even have one singular sticker. I mean, we have like one design. There are a handful left. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope you have a good month, and I'll see you around.